Hello everyone, this is budgiesRcool and you're currently watching my drawing process video. In this video we're not going to really be going over anything specifically, so no lessons, no feet or hands or eyes or hair. It's just going to be what goes through my mind when I'm doing a simple sketch. Now, before we continue, if you're an existing subscriber, you may have noticed my my 3 years of absence. I'm sorry that I've left you all hanging for so long, and I owe you guys an explanation of what's been keeping me from making more videos. And that thing is adulting. Ugh. I pay taxes, I pay rent, I work all the time so I can pay taxes and rent, but I still draw anime girls. And yeah, speaking of girls, I somehow managed to find the love of my life during all this time, and it's amazing. She's amazing. And yeah, between all these aspects of my life, it's kind of hard to find energy and time and overlap them in a way that lets me make these videos, which take both of them in fairly high quantities. Yeah, so actually I'm still pretty low on both energy and time, but I've been noticing lately in comments of videos and whatnot that there are a lot of you guys telling me to rest in peace and asking me when I'm gonna start videos again, or is this the year you come back, and all that good stuff. And you guys just make me all warm and fuzzy and also make me feel bad for not doing more videos. But no, really, I really appreciate it, and you guys are awesome. And actually, one long-time subscriber and viewer in particular, Netta, this person contacted me on DeviantArt and just expressed concern and support, and it was just amazing and uncalled for, and I was just touched by that. So, you know, Netta, without you I may not have been making this video, so thanks a ton, you're awesome. Anyway, let's do some drawing. So yeah, this is just my usual program, Paint Tool SAI. As you may have noticed, there's a screen on my tablet now, so it's one of the perks of working. Yay! So anyway, let's go on to drawing. I am using the airbrush tool. I'll start with a circle. Tip for drawing circle, because I know a lot of you guys like to be like, I can't draw circles. Don't draw them with your fingers, because then you get something lumpy like that. Try to put your entire arm into the movement and just draw slowly. Oop, that was a bad example. Draw slowly and consistently, and you know, exhaling actually does work to smooth out your circle if you really want that thing to be smooth. Now, after the circle, I'll draw a center line through the face just so I know where to put things. Draw a chin coming off of that. Angle it up a bit. Connect it to the head. Chin, jaw, all that good stuff. Alright, now that we have that, I'll draw a little center line across the face. Let's undo that. So, center line, kinda horizontal. I've drawn the head crooked on purpose. No, actually it wasn't on purpose, but I just let these things be kinda organic, form themselves. My intent for this is to have a character that is, you know, kind of simple, just freestanding, nothing fancy, just trying to create something that I'll be pleased with later. So anyway, there's that. we can go into the eyes now, or we can leave it for later. I usually leave it for a little bit later, because I just need to use this sketching momentum to carry us through more of the body. So I usually try to not make things super straight and square. So this is kind of outlining the spine, the general position that this character will be in. Then I'll draw a little square for the chest. I'll usually make the square less than the width of the head, just because that's the proportions that I tend to draw in. Then draw little ribby things to make sure that we actually do have a rib cage going on. And then let's see, what do I do? About a square, a chest square and a half is where I'm gonna put that crotch line. From there, we'll kind of outline the fold, like the little crease area where the torso meets the legs. And it's gonna have a definite fold but corner right there. And just let that down. Over here, we'll let this come down too. These are the outsides of the legs. And right here specifically, try to include like maybe a little hip bone bump, just to try to signify that there is a skeleton under here. Skeleton and structure, all those good things. Now, where the neck hits our chest box, we'll just smooth that out a bit. Add some little shoulder nubbins for the arms to come out of. I tend to make these shoulder nubbins about half the size of this chest box. And these are going to be fairly relaxed arms. I'll draw where I think the elbows should be. Draw a little line from there to there. I'll take this same length and kind of repeat that for the forearm. And there's that. I'll draw these little circles representing the wrists. This overall thing is going to be pretty relaxed, so just keeping that in mind during this whole thing. Nothing's going to be crazily angled off and doing all crazy things up there, but I don't know where that butt came from. Where'd that butt come from? I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, so there's a hand, here's another hand. I should, the forearm will flare out about a third away from the elbow, a third of the forearm length away from the elbow. And then these guys, just try to make things flow. Remember that shoulders are things, so there's this little muscle right here that'll be fairly distinct regardless of most of the character body types that I draw, at least. Now this guy, keep this going down. As you can see here, I'll zoom in a bit. I tend to like to make the back of the hand smooth, very smooth, as the hand is just going, and you just follow the line of the hand, and it's just more pleasing to the eyes. And then maybe this one will have that going there. This thumb will come out a bit, and then maybe we'll have the pinky coming out. Ooh, fancy. And I don't know, maybe I'll take that away later. We'll see. That's the thing about drawing, is you gotta keep yourself flexible and fluid. try not to get too caught up in what you want it to be at that specific moment. You don't need to set everything in stone right away. That's the great thing about drawing and expressing yourself through drawing. It's all a good time. Yep, just drawing little lines that kind of insinuate that the body is turning into the arm at that point. They're little new lines there. Let's actually go back to the face now. So what I tend to do for eyes is I draw these eye boxes, as I actually didn't explain this at the beginning. Oh, bad budgies. Okay. So off of this middle line, I'll draw something kind of close to it. I tried to keep this in mind, that you can make 2 squares away from it. So what is that? Half the length of the space between this top and the bottom of the eyes. Proportions, man. Okay, and I try to make it so this is a square, so equal sides everywhere, and then make this one somewhat squarish and try to repeat the same thing on that side. That way you get a good distance between the eyes, and it's easier for you to shape your eyes within them. So I tend to start from the middle and the outer part of the eye and meet in the middle. And then I end up with that upper eyelash. Then, using the first one I drew as reference, try to keep these proportions, and hopefully you get an eye on the other side that looks the same. At a glance, this one is a bit too skinny, not wide enough. So I'll try it again. Start from over here, and we have something that's a little closer. So I'll tend to draw this bottom eyelash just to outline where things are. Then I'll go in a little deeper and a little closer, and this person is going to be looking up ever so slightly. So, drawing the irises. When drawing all these circular things, you might notice that I tend to start where something begins on 2 sides and just meet in the middle. Everything is fluid, and that way, if you draw fluidly like that, it'll be easier to make your lines meet and look more natural. So, just a little thing that at least it works for me, so maybe it'll work for you too. Now I'll draw the pupils, at least the bottom of them. I'm gonna be having them fade off into somewhat of a shine between the eyes. Then I'm gonna have a big eye shine right here. Not done with that yet, but I do these things at the same time. I alternate between left and right side, so that I can kind of keep the motions fresh in my mind and my muscle memory. Make sure that your eye shine is on the same side on both eyes, because that's how reflections do. Now I'm using the eraser to make that eye shine more prominent. Let's go back to the airbrush tool, darkening things up a bit. And then lastly, just kind of smooth things out with my little smoothing tool. If you need it, I might make a tooling and like hotkeys video maybe? I did a hotkeys video way back. Oh my gosh, I've been around for a while, huh? Anyway, yeah, I did that way back, but I might be due for an updated version. So anyway, I'll draw the nose just below where the bottom eyelashes are. This one's just a simple nose since she's looking at us straight on. And a small mouth, a little bit open. It's like wondering what's going on. Where'd you go, budgies are cool? Oh man. And yeah. Here's something at least. Let's draw some eyebrows. I'll usually draw the bottom of the eyebrow first. And then a little blip up there. And then follow the next line over to it. So yeah, that's the thing. Now let's put some hair on this person. Just something over here maybe, and then over here, and doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Make sure you try to get your hair to flow from the same place. So mine, the hair part, will come from this point of the head. After you get that hair flow going, just make sure everything, for the most part, follows that same rule to make your hair look a little more natural. As this is the anime style, we're not going for photorealism or anything like that, but at least a little bit of realism is good and will go a long way. This head is a bit flat, so let's erase that. Get things coming up a bit more from that area. Remember to draw your hair coming away. Like there's some distance between the top of the hair and the top of that initial circle you drew for the head. That makes sure that the viewer knows that there's volume to the hair, and things will look better because of it. So this person's hair is gonna be kinda asymmetrical, as most hair is. Okay, a little bit short. And maybe one more little blip. Oop. Okay, good enough for now. Maybe we'll do some magic. Oh, yeah, I think we're doing some magic right now. Okay, using the lasso tool, Control T. Just gonna move this up a bit. Ah, that's more of a head. And I'm holding Control while I'm dragging. And enter. Control D to deselect. This is all just paint tool size stuff, so yeah. If you're using paint tool SAI, this will be useful. If you don't already know these things. So, yep, I'm drawing a couple of just lines that will tell you where the hair is going, where they're coming from, and just give a little bit of dimension to them. Okay, so that's that. We're going for just slight boobage here, and you know, no matter how old I get, I will giggle at that. Oh man, is it getting hot in here? It's getting a little bit hot. It's still summer. It's hot. No, is it summer still? I think it's summer. I don't have AC in this room, so I'm kinda melting a little bit. Yeah, anyway, clavicle, collarbones. Here's just kind of signifying from boob to boob. That's just so I know where to put things later, and shading eventually. Just kind of shading. Bloop, 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 bloop. And then, you know, smooth that out. Then, yeah. Looking at things, this hip could use some extra. Also, it should be starting from up here by the rib cage. So, that's that. Usually the I'll draw the legs all the way to the knees at this point, and the knees will be the length from here to about mid-chest. So that would be like down here is where the knees would be. But that's not in this view, so we're gonna ignore it for now. Maybe in a future video, or not maybe, definitely in a future video. You know what? This does not look natural, so I'm gonna delete that out and make it so that she doesn't look like she's being contorted too much. Oh man, this is kind of nice, not having this be a tutorial video specifically. I get to make all these mistakes without cutting them out later. Yay! And yeah, this is a thing. Ooh, little bloop, and another bloop. Alright, and for clarity's sake, I'll draw the clothing layer separately and also in a different color, just so I know what I've drawn and what I haven't yet, because some of this clothing will go alongside the body, and having it be a different color really helps differentiate between things. Just gonna do a simple V-neck and some short sleeves. This is the part I was talking about. I'm just following the contour of the body, trying to keep in mind when things would have folds or wrinkles in real life. So like here, maybe there's a little fold right there on the boobage area, and one right here at the waist, since the body is being turned like that. Now, keep going along. I'm gonna make the bottom of this angled a bit. Alright, draw a little line here just to signify that there's some sort of wrinkle going on. And then I'll repeat this little boobage part. And yes, it's happening. So after I do that, let's go to some sort of pants. What's she gonna wear? Little shorts, skirt. Let's go with skirt. Yeah, sure. Skirt time. Make things come out a bit. This, by the way, would not be allowed at work because fingers go past the length of the skirt. Gosh. Wear jeans every single day. Actually, no, that's kind of off, isn't that? I wear jeans every day to work, which is awesome. It's because we are pretty laid back at work, which is so great. If I had to wear slacks every single day, I would, and I probably wouldn't know any better, so I wouldn't be complaining about it. But anyway, that's that. What else? What else is? She looks like she has a. She would have a bow, doesn't she? Draw a big. No. Yes, definitely. Bow coming from behind. One of those little ribbony ones. So boop, 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 and boop. The trick to these, as far as I've seen, try to make them come from the same part of the head behind, just so that there's some continuity in your lines, and so people will believe that these things are actually real objects within your drawing. And then just draw a couple straight lines, not super straight, but just enough to make it so that it looks like they have some form to them. And then let's do a couple of these. This one will be going this way. Whoa! Whoa! Just make a decision, man. Okay. That's the thing. And then, of course, gonna delete this little line. You know what? This one needs to change. From there. Okay, so that's a ribbon, and let's see, what else am I gonna do here? Let's delete away some of the body sections that overlap with the clothing. So I'll delete some of these lines and these lines. Deleting away the crotch line. Just remember to leave area for between the legs. If you're a fellow human, you might notice that the inner thighs don't meet at a point. There's some area for movement's sake. And yeah, that's that. Is there any more? Am I doing anything more than this? Well, I guess in terms of paint tool SAI, something that you can do here is put everything in a folder. Let's go back here. I kinda forgot to erase some of these facial construction lines. So I'm gonna do that right now. Just taking some of these out. Don't have to be perfect with this because, as I said before, this is just a quick sketch. Pretty rough. We're just getting ideas onto the paper. And oh my goodness, I forgot eyelashes. Whoop. Or I mean, you know, the little pointy ones that I always do. Yay! Pointy eyelashes! Okay, I'm happy now. So, let us take our fancy little folder. I have Q as my duplicate button, so there's my hotkey. I am going to press E to combine it all. I'll press Control U to get my hue and saturation. Otherwise, you can do all of these things through, what is it, filter over here? Yeah, hue and saturation is right there. Oh no, you can't see that. I'm sorry. Anyway, filter, view, and then hue and saturation is right under that. Luminescence down to make it darker. And maybe another one? Yeah. Q for duplicate, E for combine. And then, yeah, I have my colored one down here. And I'll just make this top one as opaque as I want until something is kind of nice. Alright. That's that. I think I'll make a little bit of shading happen just for the sake of some three-dimensionality here. Alright, so that smooth things out a bit. Wow! No, not that one. Alright. I'm just kind of blocking the colors down right now, and after that, take my eraser and I'll lighten up the parts that stick out a bit more. So like that. Usually the belly will have some coming out. for the creases, it helps if you put a couple of those on there. Alright, and I'll do the same thing for the skirt. There, smooth things out again. And then here for the legs, gives a little bit of three-dimensionality. And then let's get some more color. Put that down there a bit. Alright. Oops. Now let's go over to the person colors. I'm just gonna add a couple of things to the hair. Just mainly I'm just gonna start from that middle part of the hair and from the tips of the hair and not quite meet in the middle. This gives it a bit of a shine to the hair, as the things that you added previously are the shadows, and the parts you don't get to are the highlights. Just a real quick way that I used in my daily sketches, actually. That was a while ago. To get some hair going in there. I think that's a bit dark, so I'm gonna cut that out, paste it into its own layer, and then I'll just lighten it up with opacity. And for that, I can do the same thing for the rest of the body. And yeah, adding some shadow under the hair. A little bit of dimension to the nose. Shadow under the eyebrows if you got any room for that, which I don't here. Oh my goodness, I forgot the back hair. I'm just gonna put that something a little darker than the base hair, since it's in the back and her big old head is blocking the light. Not gonna get too fancy with that because it's in the background, so it just kinda stay there in terms of color and detail. Alright, and then let's go back to the clothing layer. Let's add some color to these ribbons. I'll do the same thing I did with the hair for highlight. Whoa, not working there. Actually, you can just erase a little band of it if you'd like. Adding a little bit of thickness to there just because I can. And also, I'm trying to keep it so that the these little shiny spots are in places that are sticking out of the drawing. It's just something that you'll notice in real life. Just look around, study shadows, people watch, all that good stuff. And eventually you'll get the hang of it. I honestly don't have a solid hang of it yet, but I do the best I can. Thank you guys for sticking through it with me while I try to teach you guys and you guys help me learn too. It's a mutual learning experience. Oh. For the legs. Trying little places that are in shadow because of the skirt. The shadow is less prominent where the skin would touch the skirt, just because how angles work. And alright, we at least have some dimension to what our things are doing. Let's take this out. Actually, let's turn this into a layer so that we can also erase things out of it. So, yeah, I think that just about finishes off all the things I wanted to cover. Oh, let's darken the mouth a little. And little teeth. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so I know this is super different from all the other things I've ever done. Kind of went in here with the only plan I had was to just draw, just to get something out, because the idea of planning out an entire new tutorial video did not seem like a feat that I would be able to just handle right away. So I figured my best chances of getting something out and saying hi to everyone again was to do an informal video like this. So I really appreciate you guys for sticking around, for watching. Thank you so much for all your support and you know, all the encouraging words, for missing me while I was gone. And I think that about wraps things up. My goodness. Is it time to edit? Do I still know how to edit? I don't know. I guess I never really edited that much before anyway. I was just kind of making sure things were in the right spot. Anyway, if you have any comments or questions, or just want to say hi, say so in the comment section below, or, you know, find me on DeviantArt. Just do anything. You can find me anywhere. And yeah, leave it there. I'll say hi back. Thank you so much for watching my video. This is budgiesRcool. Take care. Hello everyone, this is budgiesRcool, and you're currently watching my drawing tutorial. Okay.